What's up? Good morning. Happy Monday. Thank you guys for being here. We're going to get started here in a second as people are coming on. Appreciate you guys being here. It's a beautiful Monday. Hope you guys had an amazing Mother's Day. We're going to be getting started here in a second. Good morning, John. John Jr. in Colorado. Johnny, what's up, buddy? Thank you very much. Give me a quick shout out. Let me know your guys' name and where you're from. Love to see where you guys are at. We're getting ready to get started here. What's up, Steve? What's up, Mother? What's up, Brad? What's up, guys? Good morning. Good morning. Thank you guys for being here. Let me scoot this back a little bit. I feel like I'm on top of you guys. There we go. There we go. Hey, what's up, Alicia? Good morning. Thank you for all being here. Hope you guys had an amazing Mother's Day. We'll go ahead and get started here in a second. But I want to talk today about today's subject matter about why people are failing. It's very interesting to me. Again, I'm always trying to pay attention to why some people are failing and some people aren't. And really, the end result doesn't matter. What's up, Nick? What's up, Mike? The end result doesn't matter. What's up, Nelson? Callie. What's up, buddy? 5:30. Thank you. So you might be thinking, what does that mean? I know Thursday or Friday, maybe both days, we were talking about the hiring process, hiring your dream team and all that, right? Well, when you're hiring your dream team, most people, the reason most of you will never hire a person or a dream team or get started is because you're so focused on the end result. You're so focused on hiring the A player. You're so focused on making sure it works. You're so focused on the end result that you're not pulling the trigger. I've seen it happen a million times. It continues to happen. It's stealing from your success. It's stealing from your future. Here's one thing I guarantee you. The person you're about to hire, you're going to mess it up. You're going to have to fire them. They might steal from you. You're not going to have the best SOPs. You're not going to have the best KPI management yet. That's okay. It shouldn't stop you. You need to fall in love with the process of pursuing what you think you want, because we all know it changes. You don't have to believe me. What you wanted when you're 15 years old is not what you wanted when you're 25 years old, is not what you want when you're 35, etc. We change, we evolve, we grow. And what happens is if you focus on the end result, you're never going to get anywhere close to where you can get to. I guarantee it. Hiring, you have to hire sooner than later. You have to find an individual. You have to hire people. You have to learn how to manage people. You're going to mess it up. You have to learn how to hire, like how much to pay them. You're going to overpay. You're going to underpay. It's part of the process. By the way, there's nothing, you're learning, you're developing, you're growing because you're in the process. I always talk about being urgent in the now, patient in the future. I'm urgently looking to bring someone on board, and I'm patient to educate them, knowledge them up, and put them through the system. What that's called is setting expectations. Be realistic. You're going to have to learn that through hiring. No one works like you and I. No one at all. I've hired people that say, I've hired people paying them $20,000 a month, and I've hired people paying them $2,000 or $1,500 a month or less. They all say they work hard. Listen, the people that's talking about how hard they work typically aren't the ones working that hard. Just do the work. So as you're hiring, you're learning this and you're adapting, you're developing, you're evolving, you're communicating, you're listening. Just know that this person's going to be a stepping stone to the next person, to the next person, to the next person. I look at it like dating, kind of like, right? This is kind of like dating. You don't get with your first girlfriend in second grade and start picking out your flowers for your wedding, do you? Of course not. That sounds pretty stupid. So why are you doing it now? Why are you trying to figure out how to hire, how much to pay, when to pay, this thing, I need to give him this, I need to give him that, I need to do this, I need to make sure I hire the best, I need to, how do you know what the best is before you even hire? See, you're so afraid to mess up. Let's be honest. That's what it really is. You're so afraid of messing it up, you're messing up because you're not doing it. It all is perspective. How do you see it? I see it as a learning opportunity. I see it as a stepping stone to the next level. What's up, Mike? What's up, Nelson? What's up, DeMarcus? So you have to realize the end result doesn't matter. The end result is a moving target anyways. Just like marketing. If you don't fall in love with the process of marketing, you're going to be miserable for the rest of your life in business. I promise you that. What's up, Matt? You're going to be miserable for the rest of your life in business because marketing is constantly changing. It's constantly testing. It's evolving. It's shifting. It's working one day. It's not working enough. Like, there's so many variables. That's why I would say pick one or two and stick with it. Just in those one or two paths, there's so much going on inside of them. You know, you might have one handle and three controls, like you're out there trying to beat the handle. You like, that's what happens. You're trying to figure out is it the headline? Is it the body? Is it the call to action? That takes a lot of work. If you got four assets that you're driving, marketing from, now all of a sudden I have like 20 things inside of each one that I'm managing. Now that's 80. It's not 20, it's 80 because it's 4 pieces times 20, right? That's why people get overwhelmed and get frustrated because I want results faster. Well, when you start hearing yourself say that, you need to know this. Get ready. This is a write me down. You need to focus on data, not drama. Data, not drama. Data is going to drive direction. All of you are so drama filled. We all are as humans, right? But some way more than others, trust me. I was talking with a guy this weekend. He's like, it's not working. It's not blah, 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 whatever he says. And I'm like, data. Blah, 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 blah. You clearly can't answer a question. What's the data? Blah, 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 blah. Dude, I think I'm starting to see the problem. What's the data? Data is all that matters. I don't know what your drama is telling you. I talked about you're lying to yourself 24/7. You think you're working harder than you are because you're going off your emotions. You're going off of if you worked as much as you said you did in your brain, we'd all have six-pack abs and we'd all be billionaires or trillionaires. You and I know it's true. But we tell ourselves these lies to protect our ego. Data puts it on the line. He's like, Mark, I spent $640. I got 400 leads. I had 18 people fill out a form. I had 5 conversations and I closed 1 deal. Perfect. How much you make? Boom. Insane. Amazing. What were your expectations? Well, blah, 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 blah. You don't understand that. Blah, blah. Data, not drama. What are your expectations? His expectations, by the way, this is very important. This is my boy, too. I'm not picking on him. This is real. His expectations are pulled from other people's numbers. Like, dude, you should be making 100 G's. Dude, you should be doing this. You should be doing that. This is what I'm doing. This is what I'm. It doesn't matter what I do. It doesn't matter what the other person does. What is it for you? That's why I always say mind your own effing business, because your business is the only thing that matters. If you're trying to build your business off of my numbers, you might go broke. If you're trying to build your businesses off my numbers, you might not have the mental fortitude to invest the kind of money I'm investing. Therefore, everything that I'm doing becomes non-existent. It's avoided for you at this point, or vice versa. Maybe you're way bigger than me. We all know with scale, there has a diminishing return effect for a while. So depending where you're at in the cycle of business, you might look like you're breaking even though you're pulling in $5 million a year. And someone's trying to copy you and they're wondering like, dude, why isn't this working? I'm broke. Well, are you broke? Or is the data telling you you're just in that moment where you're about to pop and go straight to the moon? See, the thing is your data needs to be in front of you. These are the KPIs. You better fall in love with this stuff. You better fall in love waking up with anxiety. You better fall in love. And I'm not saying like you have to love this stuff, I guess. I'm kind of saying it. But like you better understand that's part of the process of growth. Your anxiety is relative as well. What makes you anxious might not make me anxious and vice versa. What gets you amped up and excited. But I can tell you right now, when I don't have my data in front of me, my anxiety's up at a massive level because I'm running blind. It's like, listen, if you're on the freeway, shut your eyes, going 80 miles per hour and see how well that does for you. That's how most people are running their business. It's a matter of time before you get in the wreck and kill everybody. You might as well just shut the business down. It's not even a business if you're doing it like that. Your data gives you confidence. Your data gives you direction. Your data drives momentum. The problem is all of you are out there running around like a bunch of emotional wrecked people like we are, and you're making decisions off of emotions, no reality at all. I'm telling you that first of all, I've done this many times, so I'm not talking smack. I'm telling you the truth. I would be 10 times, 100 times further if I would have looked at my data back in the day. I was just making decisions off of how I felt. And listen, some days today I feel like quitting for the last 20 minutes. Before I got on this call, I want to quit today. But I'm not going to, because my data says, listen, Mark, you got a lot of good stuff going on. Stay focused. Fall in love with the process. Look at your numbers. Let it tell you where to pivot. Let it tell you what levers to push or pull. That's what data does, right? If you're a pilot in a plane, you know when you're up in the clouds, you can't see anything. You're running off of your instruments. Your instruments are your data points. That tells you to go left or go right, speed up or slow down, etc., right? That's what data's for. And it's different for everybody. Everyone's running different data points that what drives you crazy or makes you excited, right? The key is I know Gino Wickman always talks about this, is like get 7 KPI measures for you as an owner. What are those 7 KPIs, key performance indicators, that tell you if your business is moving forward or backwards? The goal is, how do you get 1? Right? It's tough. How do you get 1 KPI? So a buddy of mine, his 1 KPI, he owned a big trucking company. It was like $30 million a year. His number 1 KPI, if he only had 1 number he could get a day, it's how many the trucks go in and out, and they have a counter on the trucks going in and out. He knows if they come in, it means X, and going out. If they come in, they got to go out. That's just part of the game. That's part of his business. So he's looking at how many came in. That tells him what's working and what's not. That allows him to say, well, business isn't what's going on today. And then maybe tomorrow, same thing, or maybe it's pops. Maybe it's just a weird day. And he's going to look at that, and then he's going to dig deeper. Then he's going to go to more KPIs. He's going to go to the directors and say, hey, I need to see your KPI reports on how many phone calls are being made, how many phone calls are coming in, how many leads are happening, like what's going on, deeper KPIs. Fall in love with the process. Hiring, marketing, business building. If you think it takes a year, it takes 10 years. If you think it takes a week, it takes a year. That's why I'm always urgent now, patient in the future. Make decisions today, because again, it takes way longer than we've ever anticipated. I've never met someone saying, ever, man, that happened so fast. Man, I wish I would have waited longer. Man, this is too easy. I've never met anybody that says that, ever, that's a real business owner. If they're saying that, they're trying to get in your pocket. That's what that means. If they're like, it's easy to do everything, it's not. It does get easier as you go, because I'm in love with the process. That's when we talk about grittiness. The grit is in the process. You know, you're churning, you're learning, you're growing, you're developing. I'm excited because I don't know anything. I'm excited for, oh my gosh, what if? I got excited this morning. I was up 4:30 this morning, 5 o'clock. I'm listening to some audio stuff, and I'm listening to like a Warren Buffett. He's talking about like buying something. He's like, dude, $462 million is not a lot of money. And I'm like, perspective. That's interesting. Is $462 million a lot of money? I don't know. Depends who you are. Depends what it's for, right? If you could buy Coca-Cola for $462 million, it's the deal of a lifetime. It's not a lot of money at all. But if you're buying this mug for $462 million, you'd be out of your mind. It's perspective. See, the problem is a lot of you are making decisions based off of half-loaded data. Dude, I just made $1 million a day. What's that mean? What does it mean to you? What does it mean to you? And then what happens, you hear that, and then you run off or do whatever you do, and you start changing your business. Well, Mark said he gets a 16% response rate and we're only at 12. It's not working. Cool. If you do that, you're the most miserable person in the world. I know, because I used to do it. I would listen to these people, and I'm not saying clowns. Some of these guys are telling real data, but I can tell you right now, most of them are full of it. Most of them, they don't even know their numbers. They're just spouting off stuff. I'll give you a prime example, me included. My team did a deal. They sold it for $100,000. I saw it, I got excited. I bought and sold so many properties, I don't even know what we pay for these things or sell them for. I see a sell happen, plus 100, cool. So I see that because I'm not involved in the day-to-days. I shared it. And my deal coordinator said, hey, we lost $62,000 on that deal. I'm like, that's interesting. Well, I guess it's better than 100,000 loss. Like, what do you do? Some of you might curl up and cry and bawl, and I told you this thing doesn't work, and blah, 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 blah. Listen, I'm not bragging about losing $60-something thousand. I'm just saying, if you're following me and you think I made $100,000 on a deal and you're adjusting your business based off of that one micro moment conversation, you just failed. You failed. By the way, if you do this with anybody, you're failing. Because it doesn't matter what someone else says they're doing or not doing. It matters what you do. It matters what your numbers tell you is working. Like if I tell you direct mail gets me a 4% response rate in Columbus, Ohio, that doesn't mean that it relates over into California, Oklahoma, Orlando, Cleveland, maybe an outskirts of Columbus. It doesn't matter. It matters at 0. Now, I'm not saying you can't learn from these assets. If you're at 0% response rate, that means you're not doing anything. But if you're at 0.2% conversion, right? You send out 1,000, you get 20 calls. You might want to look at that. What's up, Brats? What's up, Rob? Right? You might want to look at that. So what happens is now you can adjust. You can say, look at their asset, look at mine. And then don't stop what you already know works. If it's working, don't ever stop it 100%. If your budget's $2,000 in marketing spend, take 1,000 to what works and take 1,000 to a new piece to start testing. Maybe Evans is full of it. Maybe he's not. I'm going to test with my own data. Boom. You send a piece out. This gets 0.2. This gets 3%. Guess which one you spend more money on tomorrow, next week? You move this over. It becomes your new handle. That's your control piece. That's the one you're dropping. If you don't measure, you can't manage it. Absolutely. Tim's way better at words than I am. So you gotta look at your numbers, data, not drama. And again, it's cool you guys have access to so many amazing people on YouTube and all these great environments to learn what you're trying to learn. But listen to them. Don't take it 100%. Listen. This is mental education, by the way, and you got to decipher what that means for you. It might not mean anything. But the truth is, most of you are making big, massive financial business direction decisions off of half-baked data. You don't know if you're trying to, I just came out with the book, by the way. Thank you, everybody. Magician, Verse Mule, #1 bestseller because of you guys. And we're getting tons of feedback, tons of testimonials. I'm working on a manual for you guys right now. Actually, today at 10 o'clock, I have a call with the creator of the manual. It's helping me with that. And I'm so excited for all of you guys to read it and grasp the concept and go through that journey because it truly is eye-opening. Tim Bratz actually wrote the foreword of it. And it's amazing. Coming out in about 2 months of the audio version, which would be cool because it's going to have some fun pieces inside of it. And some new things I've never seen done on an audio book that I wish was done. Maybe it's a little taboo or whatever. I don't know, but it's going to be cool, different. It's going to be fun. It's going to be very interactive, which I'm very excited for. So And my boy Joey's he's going to be the one putting it all together for me. Me reading it and all that stuff, but I got a guy putting it together for me. But where I'm going with that is half-baked data. I see a lot of you guys making very big decisions off of listening to other people. And, oh man, well, Evan sends 10,000 postcards a week out, so I got to do that. Nothing wrong with aspiring to do that. But listen, depending on how big your market is, what your results are telling you to do, you might only have so much spend you could do per month in your market before it starts diminishing down, meaning your diminishing returns, meaning your cost per lead goes skyrocket and your profits shrink because there's a lot of competition. There's a lot of people in there messing up the system. Maybe not right now as much, but maybe a seminar came into your town and they're telling everyone to go spend $500 on marketing. So now every Tom, Dick, and Harry that had, sending people postcards. So what that does is that changes your marketing dollars. That changes your results. That's different for me. That's different for you. It's different for all of us. What's up, Brian? So we have to understand how do we measure our data and what's our data telling us. So you hear it come in, you got to decipher it. Goes in one ear, out the other. You got to say, okay, what does that mean for me? How does that make my business better? Maybe it doesn't. Move on, right? That's cool. There's nothing wrong with that. But data drives direction. Fall in love with that process. Hiring. Fall in love with the process. Marketing. Fall in love with the process. Understanding your KPIs. Fall in love with the closing process. Understanding how to go from a 50% conversion to 60% conversion. Do you understand, like, if you go from a 25% conversion to 50% conversion at a sell, you think that's a 25% increase, right? It's not. It's 100%. 25 to 50 is a 100% increase. Same thing with marketing. If you're getting a 1% marketing response rate and you figure out how to get that to 2%, that's a 100% increase in growth. 100%. Most people are trying to go from 1% to 10% because that gets them excited. Well, listen, I've been doing this for a long time and I'm not that good. Very few people are. And if they're good at that, they're probably not good at the other side of the business. You got to find the happy medium that works for you. You got to find the ones where the cost per lead is good, the cost per conversion is good, and the cost per close is good. So when I hear people talk, for example, let me give you a very big example. When I hear people say, I have a very high percentage of close ratio, and I'm not stroking my ego, it's the facts. It's 90% or 100%. The truth is, my conversion rate's 100% and above. Why? Above 100%. Why? It's simple. Every single person I'm talking to, I'm either qualifying or disqualifying. I'm in charge of saying yes or no. We're going to do business together. So my conversion rate's 100%. What the outcome is, you might be looking at conversion rates for money. I'm looking for impact. It's a different type of conversion. I'm not taking your money if I can't make an impact on you. Period. Right? So not only that, by the time it gets to me, it's already been deciphered through multiple levels. So if you listen to me and say, let's just say my conversion rate's 50%, and you're like, dude, I'm 10%, I'm a loser. My team sucks. I'm terrible. Well, you're stealing the love of the process. The question is, okay, cool, what is Mark doing different than I am? I might be only talking to 4 people a week. You're talking to 40. Big difference right there. Data already says, whoa, dollar-wise, I'm making more at a 10% conversion, right? 40 leads, closing 4 people. I'm talking to 4 people. I'm closing 2 people. You just made a decision to change your business structure based off of 1 point of data. 50% conversion rate. You got to hear that. You say, okay, what can I learn from that? 50% conversion rate's awesome. What can I learn from it, though? What does it mean? Your infrastructure might be way different than mine, too. You might need to be in the lead growth business. I'm in the lead decipher business. I only want to talk to people that I can help at the highest level. So qualified, disqualified, qualified. By the time I talk to them, They've already established credibility, relationships, connections. There's a lot that went into that front end lead gen. If you're talking to motivated sellers, for example, it's a postcard, a phone call, boom, let's talk. That conversion rate will always be massively different on the front line. So how do you go from 1% to 2%? How do you go from 2% to 4%? Where people are messing up too, they're constantly tinkering around with micro growth. If I have something that's working at 2%, I'm not tweaking to try to get to 2.1%. It doesn't move the needle. It doesn't do anything. If I can't take it from 2 to 3 minimum or 2 to 4, I'm not even thinking about it. I'm saying, cool, it's at 2%, I'm good. Let's focus on something where I can get bigger growth. That's what I'm looking at. I'm going to go straight to the sell side. If I'm at 2% getting 100 leads a week and we're converting at let's say 10% and we're getting 10 deals a week, awesome. I'm going to spend my time on the 10 deals a week because there's a conversion. There's a 90% opportunity to convert at a higher level. A couple tweaks to conversations, a couple tweaks here and there, I might be able to bump that up to 20%. Now that makes a massive difference. And while that's going on, as my marketing, I'm paying attention, I have more marketing dollars to test around with more stuff because I'm making more money on the same exact lead. So again, it all depends on what you're focusing on. So I'm always looking at my ROAS. And if you're in business, you need to know what that means. Return on advertising spend. Return on advertising spend. If I spend $1,000, how quickly do I get it back? It's not immediately. In real estate, it could be online, but like in real estate, there's a process to the business. So you have to understand your runway. That's a whole nother conversation. What is your runway to profit? You send out marketing, it takes 3 days to hit, you get a lead, takes a day to follow up, takes a contract, takes an inspection, takes all these pieces. You might be 12 days deep before you even get a contract out to do a deal. And then there's a 30-day cycle typically inside of that, if not sooner, but like that's, 30 days. Now you're 42 days to get revenue. It's not a bad thing. You just need to know that number. Because when the deal happens, you better be cash forecasting that out. If not, you're going to be broke. You're always going to be behind the 8 ball because you're going to be spending like you made and you didn't make. By the way, it's always interesting to me when guys are like, yo, dude, this week was tough. This week's not tough. 5 weeks ago was tough because you didn't do the work. You went out, you're partying, you're boozing it up, you're acting like you're a big dog, you slacked, and it's showing up this week. See, in business, typically your results are delayed results from your actions prior. If you work this week, you're going to get big results in next week, whatever, however many weeks out. So what you need to do is you need to realize what is your timeline for revenue back to cash flow. I have a company, it takes me about 9 months if I spend $1, it takes me 9 months to get that dollar back from that client. But the way that works, it's a very big scalable model. It's massive. I can't spend enough, right? So I'm looking at that all the time. In real estate, it's a little bit different because you have to buy the asset, you have asset cash allocation, you have financing if you're doing financing, you have to put someone in the property for rental or lease option or rental, whatever you're doing, whatever model. I mean, there's a lot of different layers. So in my business, when I was on turnkey, a lot of that back in the day, a couple years ago, we were trying to get it under 27 days. That was our goal. Buy, clean up, get rented, occupied, sold in 27 days or less. And we figured out internally in the company, if we could do that, we could double our profits quicker just by, and sell it for less. We could sell for less and double our cash on cash profits quicker because we could churn the money so much faster. And listen, the bigger the company gets, the harder this is, by the way. It's easy when you only have 1 or 2 to focus on, but there was points that we had 70, 80, 100 properties in motion at the time. And it's very easy to lose control. And we did a bunch. We lost millions on some of those things, some of that side of the business. That's a whole nother story, but it's a process. So you need to always be looking at this stuff. Pay attention. What is it telling you? How do you drive it? What do you need help with? So that brings me to the question to you guys. It's 9 o'clock. I've been rambling here for about a half hour. Hopefully this has been helpful for you guys. And by the way, if you guys are new here and you haven't got your book, Magician vs. Mule, please do so. It means so much to me as all the profits are going to charity. as well as all my other books too. All the profits go to charity. Not only that, if you have gotten the book, if you would do me a huge, ginormous favor and get over to Amazon and leave a review, it means so much to me. Shoot me a text via Instagram at Mark Evans DM and let me know you did that. Screenshot it real quick, and I'll probably send you a cool little gift for doing so. So I appreciate that. Does anybody have any questions here about why you better fall in love with the journey? If you don't, it's going to be rough. Thank you, Dylan. Just wrote a review for you yesterday, 5 stars. I appreciate it, my man. Thank you, buddy. Anybody have any questions here about their business? Anybody frustrated, overwhelmed? Just a text here. You guys good? It's Monday. Big day. Beautiful day here in Florida. It was supposed to rain, I thought. I was out walking at 6 o'clock this morning. It was amazing. Thank you, Mike. Book is absolutely lights out. Thank you, buddy. If you could, if you haven't, please leave a review over on Amazon. So, guys, the way Amazon works, it's a ranking system, right? So Amazon goes in there and they see people like searching, liking, and commenting inside of that, however that works, helpful, this was helpful or whatever. And the more engagement, just like anything, right? The more engagement, the more likely they are to get it in front of people. So I appreciate you guys doing that. Any help would be immensely appreciated. By the way, I apologize. I'm a terrible marketer, by the way. So if you follow me, don't follow me the way I market. But I do have an amazing podcast show. I have a lot of people on there. You know, we get thousands of downloads. I'd love for you guys to hop on there. It's over on iTunes. It's at actually all the platforms. It's called Making of a DM. I'm sure we could put that up there. It's actually, if you go to markevansdm.com, click on podcast, you could see it there. Beacon, could you toss that in there, markevansdm.com? And it pops up there. Amazing podcast. We have a lot of cool stuff. I think we're 20-something shows deep. We have a lot more in the making, but it gives you a different way to go there. Tim said, hey, a lot of people wouldn't know how to put KPIs in place. Who would you hire to help organize and understand KPIs for someone's personal business? That's a good question, Tim. So KPIs for me in business, so there's a good book called Traction. I'd read that book first, and then that would help you get it started depending on where you're at, in the journey. If you're a brand new business owner with no KPIs, you know, it'd be good to read the book sooner than later. That's a good book to read just in general for KPIs, key performance indicators, how to identify them, find them. It's different for every single business. From my experience, it's not the same. And then Traction, they do have a coaching thing. I think we were paying $25-30 grand a year for our teams to get coached 4 times a year from them. So back in the day, we personally don't use them anymore. Not because they're bad. It's just we're just different pieces there. We'll post upon. Cool. Yes, scaling up. You're right. Yep, all that stuff's good. So Tim, that's a good question. And then, like I said, I think it's a journey we have to go through as the owner to understand which KPIs drive us, which KPIs stress us out, which KPIs are important. And it's changing. I mean, it changes for me still all the time. You know, the ultimate KPI is net profit. What's my profit today? But again, I already have money in the bank. So that number, if I was in the beginning stages, I'm looking at cash on hand. I would be looking at that every day on my P&L, cash on hand. Because in real estate, you might have $2 million in the bank, but you have $3 million in closings this week. We've all been there. And you look at the bank account, you're like, shit, I'm crushing it, but you're $1 million short for the week. So these are things that it depends on what business you're in. You know, are you is your team talking to prospects to get money? Is your team talking to sellers to get deals? Is your team sending out emails? So like, for example, in my media company, KPIs we're looking at is how many leads did we get that week? How many missed mailings? Because missed mailings in our world, if you miss a mailing, by the way, KPI needs to be 0, by the way. Missed mailings, if we see 1, we'll let it slide. But if it's one this week and one next week, we're going to identify the problem and address it accordingly. So that's a KPI. It's important because in our business, if you miss a mailing, that means you lost revenue. That means the team's screwed up somewhere. That means the calendar got mismanaged. There's a lot of things inside that KPI that it stands for. And then we're going to look at receivables. That company runs $700 to $1.2 million in receivables every month, right? So no, money's owed to us. So what we're looking at is, there might be 42 outstanding invoices last week. This week's 28. That's good because we know collections is a motion. People are paying. That's what that means, 42 to 28. We're paying attention to that KPI. Not only that, we're also looking at the number owed past 30 days. So for me as an owner, I need to know who's paying in time. So that 42 to 30, that number is like within the time frame of payment. And then under that is the last KPI I'm looking at is what's over 30 days old. How much is owed? And it might be 250 or 130 or whatever the number is. Now I'm going to say, okay, cool. Now, as an owner, if that's an abnormal number, it might be 240, 230, 800, 250. I'm looking at the dates. If it says 800, it typically is right at the top, and then boom, it'll get paid off next week or whatever. It's typically what happens. So I'm looking for patterns. Sometimes I'm not just diving into a KPI to freak out. I'm paying attention. So let's say if it's 250, 250, 130, 130, 350, I'm just looking for the patterns of what it's telling me. Hope that makes sense. Hey, I'm excited and anxious. Started a handyman business and real estate investment the past few weeks. It's awesome, John. Congratulations. Make sure to check out Mike Aguilaro's stuff, man. He's got some cool stuff on people doing anything in the construction space, any kind of stuff like that. Victoria, how and where can you find a mentor? Before I'd ever find a mentor, I'd sit down and ask, what am I looking for a mentor for? And what do I want my mentor to have that I don't have? That's what I'd be asking myself. Those are the first multiple questions you need to answer and address, because mentors are great. First of all, mentors are everywhere. And what is your budget for a mentor? That's a question you need to ask. Not all mentors are created equal for sure, because we're humans and not all humans are created equal. But if they have what you want and they can help you get what you want, now the question is, how much are you willing to invest to make that happen? You could maybe you don't have much money. I don't know. Go to YouTube, read some books, do both. Start building up your bank. Find the mentor, identify them. It costs $30,000 a year. I need to get $30,000 a year. Now I'm looking for resourcefulness. Okay, now I've watched the YouTube videos, I've read the books, and I'm putting it into implementation. Now I'm making, I made my money. Now I'm going to go hire this mentor, because if I can make 30 grand doing those two things, I can only imagine if I hired a mentor what would happen. So you're going to get some successes along the way. Again, falling in love with the journey, not focusing on the end result, getting the mentor, boom, now the next step, boom, hire another mentor, like just keeps developing. So there's mentors everywhere. You could hire Tony Robbins. I think if he would even take you, he's $1 million a day. You could hire Joe Schmo that's barely accomplished anything for $100 an hour. I don't know, or a month or whatever. It depends on what you're trying to do. Depends on what you're trying to gain. Depends on what you want it to do for you. Like, that's a question I would really ask. That's a big one. Hey, good morning. What's up, Dwayne? We listened to last week about building as a team. Awesome. Thank you, Paul. No relation, by the way. Working on what to do first: assistant, secretary, accountant, web designer. John, I always talk about hiring an assistant, man. I think an assistant can help you with. Assistant and secretary is the same thing to me, by the way. And when I say assistant, that's what I mean. And depending on what kind of accounting you need done, hire an assistant that has basic QuickBooks, online QuickBooks knowledge. If you're a brand new startup, it's not like you have 50 charges a minute coming through there. Very, very simple. Web designer, I would ask you, why do you need a web designer? Dude, you understand how easy it is to create websites now? You can create websites so easy today. It's not like it used to be. And not only that, remember, you don't have to have the best website. You just need a little basic website to start off with. Get some successes. Get some stuff under the wheels, man. Get it going. I messed up the truth is, I've done many millions of dollars in business without having a website. So don't use website as an excuse. Not only that, you got to remember, if you're starting a business, there's 85,000 things you have to do. you better be conscious of the ones you're doing that make sense, that matter. A website, you setting up a website that you have no clue about and trying to figure out what you need to do. One, just because you have a website doesn't mean anybody goes to it, right? It's just one piece of many. I'd rather see you marketing, direct marketing. I don't need a website to do direct marketing. I send out postcards, I get a phone call, we close a deal. It depends on what you're trying to do. A website might hurt you more than help you if you don't know how to do it. Like, meaning it's going to steal from your time of activities that you could be doing and producing money. Or just go pay $30 a month for a basic squeeze page website. Hey, you want the best handyman in town? Click here for a free blah, 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 blah. Boom. Click, boom. Because not just do you need a web designer, now you need an autoresponder sequence series. Now you need to learn how to write. You need what to say, where to send it to, how did the links work. There's 80 things in that. Hire an assistant that is very resourceful and put this on them. Tell them, hey, if this all gets done today, we can play around with these other projects. But until this gets done, we don't talk about anything else. Hope that helps. Angelo, good morning, Mark. How do you determine which markets your team goes into? Well, my teams go into Columbus and Cleveland, Ohio. It's where I've been for the last almost 24 years. So, Angelo, pick a market that serves you. I don't know the answer. I'm not that smart. I know a lot of people have the path. Angelo, here's the question. Here's what I'd ask you. What are you looking to accomplish in a market? Right? Some people, if you're in California, San Diego, I'm using this as an example, or LA or whatever, if you have a lot of money, decent amount of money, you can spend money on market. If you have marketing skills, and you can make good money there. A lot of people make money in California. But if you have very limited resources and you're trying to figure out how to break into a market, you need to find a market that has a lot of volume, very low housing entry price points, and has a big investor pool market. And you need to go there and figure out how to find a good deal at 10 grand and sell for 12. Find it for 10, sell for 15. Find it for 30, sell for 35. I mean, there's a lot of variables. What are you trying to accomplish? And you got to be careful, like when, again, back to what I was saying earlier, when someone answers a question, you got to understand, I'm making assumptions on the answer. When I hear your question, I'm assuming you have money, you have knowledge, you're in the game, you're not in the game. I'm making all these assumptions through the conversation. And that's the wrong way to do it. That's why I like doing live. That's why I like talking to you to ask you direct, so I can actually help you, not just give you some BS answer and hope you do something with it. I want you to do. I want you guys all succeed. Today I was thinking real quick, this is a little off topic, but I was thinking today, I was doing my gratitude session, and I was like, man, I'm so thankful. Drea got her, yesterday was Mother's Day, which was awesome. It was a little dreary here. We kind of just hung out. Really didn't do much. It was rainy, and just hung out with the fam. Mark watched too much TV. I probably was fighting him too much, just playing around with him, wrestling, just being silly, right? And Dana took to get Drea her stitches out, her 10 stitches in her leg she got. And I was thinking, like, how happy I am. I'm genuinely, like, just happy. I'm happy that my family's healthy. I'm happy that, people I care about are doing well. I'm happy that, I'm alive and healthy. I'm just happy. That doesn't mean I'm satisfied, but I'm happy, right? And I was thinking about what's funny about happiness and success. There's no shortage. If I'm happy, that doesn't mean you can't be happy. If I get wealthier today, that doesn't mean you can't get wealthier today. If I'm like there's no, like, if I want to be happier, I have to take some of your happiness away. And where this comes from is abundance. And this comes back to the journey. Fall in love with the journey and be thankful for what you have, not what you don't have. I want more money. I want to help more people. I want to get my podcast show higher. I want to get more followers on Instagram and Facebook and all that, because I want to have a bigger impact. I want to create my audiobook. I want to do all these things. And I know you want to do a lot of things too. But just enjoy the happiness that's in front of us, the journey. Some days are easier than others, right? But we have to realize, like, there's an abundance of joy. There's an abundance. I was thinking, like, I was really pissed off at Mark. I think it was 2 days ago. Literally, I wanted to break his neck. And he was just being a brat, like just not listening or whatever. And I literally like got so mad. I got mad, and I just stopped and started laughing. I'm like, seriously? It's not that serious. Like, why can't I just calm down a little bit? Like, just enjoy and be thankful that he's healthy and be thankful that he's hard-headed. By the way, he's hard-headed. It will serve him amazingly well in the future. It's not good for me now. It's not good for him for right now. But I'm paying attention to that. Like, these are good. These are habits I had as a kid. Like, I didn't want to listen because I kind of had my own agenda, right? Kind of knew what I wanted to do. Him watching TV, maybe he's plotting something bigger. Maybe he's learning about blah, 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 blah. Who knows? I don't know. I'm having him he's watching good cartoons and stuff. But, like, I remember watching DuckTales. I wanted to be Scrooge McDuck jumping in the gold and swimming around and being rich and wealthy. I wanted to have the 3 kids hanging out like, oh, my gosh, you're the best. I wanted to have my own planes, my own boats, and all that stuff. Maybe he's learning that. I don't know. But I just know when shit hits the fan, you just got to sit back and laugh and be thankful. Because the thing is it would not be handed to you if you couldn't handle it. It wouldn't be put upon you. I don't want to get, like, do you know how much, like, I have a burden in my brain. I don't know if it's real or not, but I wrote the goals down of how much I want to give away to charities and all that stuff. It's a big number. It's more money than I ever thought I'd make in my life. Ever. And I want to give it away. And so every day I'm waking up and I'm just thankful that I have an opportunity to wake up to pursue something. It does, like, financially, I'll make money and I'll give it away. It's like a big thing. But I'm just thankful that I have the opportunity to, one, think that big. Truth is, it's not as big as Warren Buffett's giving. It's not as big as those guys. So I have a lot of work to do. These are good problems. I'm thinking about, like, by the way, that's not stealing from my, it's making me happier because I can help more people. Why? Because I'm pushing myself up. If I push myself up, I can help more people. See, it's not taking away from me. I'm not like mad because I got to make more money. Darn it, I got to make more money. I got to give more money away. No, it's just a burden because my brain is trying to connect the dots of how to do it. It's scary. It's unknown. If I knew how to do it, I'd already be doing it. So I'm not stopping, though. I actually, like, get excited because I got to figure out that journey to get there. And when I put the effort in the journey to get there, it makes me happy because I'm getting closer. See, the journey creates wins. Every day you're looking at this as, what did I learn? I hope that's what you're doing. What did I learn? And be careful in the talk like, I'm stupid, I'm dumb, I don't know what I'm thinking, I don't know how to do this, I don't know. Be solution driven. Be goal oriented, meaning if I only got one thing done today, I made 10 calls. If I only got one thing done today, I closed one deal. Be realistic. Like, what can you set in front of you that you can control? I can control how many calls I make. I can't control title closing. I can't control a seller picking up the phone, but I can control me calling them. I can control me what I'm saying on that message, right? If you're not getting good response backs on your voicemails, I'm tweaking my voicemail. I'm getting creative, not like, hi, this is Mark Evans with Buckeye Home Buyers. I'm calling about your house that you recently contacted me about. If you would give me a call at blah, 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 blah. No, I'm going to play around with it. I'm going to switch it up. I'm going to have fun with the process. I'm going to call and say, hey, how you been? Just following back up with you. I'm over here waiting. Give me a call. 614, blah, 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 blah. Your call rates will go up. Conversations will go up. I guarantee it. If you did A and B that I just shared with you, you're missing the boat. You're missing a lot of opportunity, right? John, Mark, how do you spell Mike's last name? Aguilara. I don't know. That's how you spell it. Something like that. CEOwarrior.com. Dude, I can barely spell my name. That's why I named my son after me, so I could know how to spell his. Angelo, you're welcome. So guys, gals, again, there's so much out there. There's so much opportunity, so much value you can bring. What's up, TK? There's so much I mean, it's abundance. Abundant. And if you truly believe in abundance, allow yourself to be abundant. It's very powerful. It's game-changing. It will shift your mind. How do you keep yourself motivated every day? What else? Why wouldn't you? I'm motivated every minute of the day. Now, I might not be motivated to do what I have to do, but I'm motivated. Biggest thing, Victoria, for me is I know I'm going to die. And I don't have much time on this earth. And I'm motivated by that. So you got to find what motivates you. Maybe it's your purpose. Maybe it's your passion. Maybe it's your impact. Maybe it's death. That's what motivates me, for real. Death and my family motivates me. I will be so pissed off at the man upstairs if he takes me before I get what I need to do done. But it won't be his fault. It'd be my fault. Because I know better. I have time right now, today, to get these policies set up in place, get this fiduciary set up in place, get this business growing, make this impact that I want to make, get that book that's been in my brain on paper so I can get it sold. Like, that's what I'm thinking about. Dude, Victoria, honestly, you need to find something that motivates you. I'm motivated just talking about motivation. Now, again, like I said, I'm not saying there's not some unmotivated days, but that's why you better fall in love with the journey. Absolutely. What's up, John? Thank you. Steve, what's up, buddy? So I don't have the non-motivation problem. Anybody that knows me, anybody knows that's definitely not a problem for me. If anything, it's the opposite. I'm over-motivated. I have 85,000 tasks going on, and I'm just trying to get a little bit of them done. So my problem's not motivation. You know what I mean? If you have goals and you really believe in them, how couldn't you be motivated? If you have, I really want to impact people's lives. I really want to give hundreds of millions of dollars away. I really want to change my financial future. I want to change my family legacy and family tree, financial tree. I want to teach people how to become financial literate, to help them grow. What would you guys do if you could get an extra $5,000 a month at retirement for tax free? That would change your life. That's what I want to teach you guys how to do eventually. I know how to do it. Mine's the way we're setting it up, and everyone can do that. Not everyone. Most people can do that, depending on where you're starting, what age, depending on how much you can put into it every month, and depending on what your goals are at the end. Anybody can do it. The question is how much you're getting at the backside. But it takes a little bit of financial literacy. It takes a little bit of unknowing, right? You got to knowledge up. You got to learn. If learning and excitement and the process doesn't get you excited, you're in the wrong thing. Dude, let's be honest. It's like marriage. Motivation of marriage. Sometimes it's shitty. It's a storm, right? But you got to push through it. You got to do his part, for better or for worse. I'm sticking in the game. I'm winning. So I think you gotta find something that really is driving you to be a winner. That's what stay moving. I always tell my guys to stay motivated. Make sure your why is bigger than you. Appreciate your wisdom, Dan. Thank you, Matt. Yeah, I think a lot of people don't know their why. If you don't find your why, you will die a miserable death. We're all put on. You guys understand? Again, back to abundance and gratitude. You being alive, I think is what's the chances? 1 in 400 trillion. Your dad could have been jerking off in a sock. You wouldn't be here at that moment. Your mom could have had to take a pee break during this wild sexcapade that they're having or whatever. You wouldn't be here. It's literally that, you are the luckiest person on planet Earth. Luckiest. Right? You have to yes, Jenny, that's very wise. Motivation is cute, discipline, and habits. So yeah, to me, it's the journey. That's discipline and habits. You got, I'm going to wake up, I'm going to do this, I'm going to do that. I'm doing the work. Some people call it grinding it out. I don't like that phrase of grinding it out because I'm not grinding it out necessarily. I'm doing the work. I'm just doing the work. That's it. So talk about it in Magician versus Meal. Hope you guys get a copy. Make sure to follow me on Instagram if you're not, at Mark Evans DM. I got a lot of daily stuff over there. Talk from the walk, Wakey 444. I'm doing that a little bit here and there. Different quotes, different things going on. But thinking about you all. I got to bounce. I got to get ready for a big call today at 10 o'clock. If you guys need anything, keep me posted. If not, I'll see you tomorrow at 8:30 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. Hope you have an amazing day. Appreciate you guys. Talk to you. Peace.